ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदानश्चन्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री शङ्कराचार्य स्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
नमस्ते महोदय। राजेश्वरी शिवशंकर भगिनी।
तवमेव परे यज्ञं योगिनः
No, it's not दैवमेव परे यज्ञं योगिनः पर्युपासते।
दैवमेव परे यज्ञं योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्मणात्वा न परे यज्ञं यज्ञेनैवो बहुवति।
Is Brahma Agna apare, Brahmakna apare, Brahmakna apare. Okay.
So how to split it, sir? Yesterday I didn't attend this.
No, see, the knowledge of fire of knowledge is called Brahma Agni. Apare means other people. Okay. Apare is others. So Brahma Agni means knowledge of fire. Brahma Agna Vapare.
Brahmagna Vapare. Brahmagna Vapare. Sir, shall I send it once again, please?
Yesterday you had not come, huh?
No, one sloka I missed it, sir. I joined.
Go ahead.
Daivameva pare yajnam yoginah paryupasate brahmagnava pare yajnam yagnaivopajuhvati.
Yajnenaivopajuhvati.
Yajnenaivopajuhvati.
Yajnena eva upajuhvati. Yajnena eva upajuhvati. Yajnenaivopajuhvati.
Yajnenaivopajuhvati. Yajnenaivopajuhvati.
Good. Next, one more person.
श्रीमती भगिनी।
Same shloka, please.
दैवमेवा परे यज्ञं योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माग्नवा परे यज्ञं यज्ञेनैवापजुह्वति।
Brahmagnavapare, not Brahmagna apare. Brahmagnavapare yajnam yajnenaivopajuhvati. The second line was
ब्रह्माग्नावपरे यज्ञं यज्ञैवोपजुह्वति।
यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति.
यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति. Once more, can I tell you, Mahodaya?
Only second line, please.
Okay. ब्रह्माग्नावपरे यज्ञं यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति.
Okay. Next.
लक्ष्मी देवी भगिनी।
श्रोत्रादीनिन्द्रियाणि अन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति शब्दादीन् विषयान् अन्ये इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुह्वति.
Good.
शारदा राजन भगिनी।
सर्वाणीन्द्रियकर्माणि प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते
Good.
Vijayalakshmi R Bagini.
नमस्ते महोदय।
Namaste.
द्रव्ययज्ञास्तपो यज्ञाः योगयज्ञास्तथा परे स्वाध्यायज्ञानयज्ञाच्च यदसंशितव्रताः
So yatayas samshito vrata.
यतयः संशितव्रताः
Yatayaha means people who are putting effort. Yatayaha is putting effort. Yatayas samshito vrataha.
यतयः संशितव्रताः
Okay.
Sheila Shinde Bagini.
अपाने जुह्वति प्राणं प्राणे पानं तथा परे प्राणापानगतिरुद्ध्वा प्राणायामपरायणाः.
Yesterday we did up to this sloka. So I would like to quickly recap whatever we discussed yesterday because I felt that there could be some kind of confusion or some kind of clarity that may be required in understanding these things. What Bhavan has told in the 24th sloka, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi, in this sloka, a jnani who is already an enlightened soul, he sees everything as manifestation of Brahma. So he sees Brahmarpanam, everything is only Brahma. That is the way a jnani sees that. Because he has already realized himself, he knows that his self is the same Brahman everywhere that he sees, in everything that he sees. So that was what he had told in the sloka 424. Now from jnani, he is now moving to karma yogis and sannyasis. Karma yogis and sannyasis are yet to become jnanis. They are just preparing themselves. They are called sadhakas. They are in the process, they are undergoing the process of getting enlightened. So next he is talking about what is the way these people are going to be doing. There are different kinds of people who will be doing different kinds of things, and everything is an yajnam. That's what he is telling. For the first one, he is telling Daivam eva pare yajnam yogino paryupasate. In this particular case, some people, some of the karma yogis who are sadhakas for having antakarana chutti and then getting this knowledge of oneself, some people do puja. Daivam eva apare yajnam. Okay, what do they do? They do a lot of pujas, they do a lot of upasanas, etc. So these people do those kinds of pujas and then pray God with a karma yoga attitude of doing the karma without expecting any kind of a pala. They are doing it because they have been worshipping the God before. They are invoking different kinds of devatas. That is also a yajna. Somebody will be doing archana, sahasranama archana in the house, or reading, chanting sahasranama. All those kinds of pujas they do. Somebody will be having Devi Upasaka, somebody will be Ganesha Upasaka, somebody will be Vishnu Upasaka. The different kinds of deities they pray, and all these things are also yajnam. Yajnam means they are offering themselves to the God in the puja, okay, with an attitude of karma yoga. Okay. Then Brahmagna Vapare Yajnam. Some other people. The first one is for Karma Yogi. Daivam Eva Apare Yajnam is primarily for Karma Yogis who invoke various gods and goddesses in the puja that they do. The sannyasis, they are primarily not doing this upasana, but they are Brahmagna Apare Yajnam. They are now trying to understand Brahman, that is their own self. They are only pursuing knowledge, and they are trying to offer in the fire of knowledge, Brahmagna, okay, in the fire of knowledge, Yajnena Upajukvati, they want to offer the self in the fire of knowledge, which means what is the self of a sannyasi to be offered in the fire of knowledge? They are trying to offer their ahankara in the knowledge of fire. Once the knowledge of fire is available in an individual, then he has got to, how can it come? It can come only when the person is able to transcend ahankara. So those people try to practice giving up their ahankara in all the kinds of yajna they do. So that is again sacrificing the ahankara. Yajna is sacrificing. So he is trying to sacrifice his ahankara by which he will be able to gain the Brahman. So this is for sannyasis. Then the next one is that again he is coming to karma yogis. Karma yogis, etc., we are continuously having the world of things comes to us through the five senses. Stotradin indriyan anye, anye samyama agnishu jukvati. Others in the control, self-control, they give up or they put it in the fire of self-control. They do the yajna in the yajna of self-control as a fire. They are giving up. What is that they are giving up? Stotradin indriyan anye. Whatever is coming to their various five senses from the external world of objects, they are putting it in the fire of self-control. For example, now you have got the option of listening to a cinema music or sitting in the class and listening to satsang, which means you sacrificed doing such kind of thing, which perhaps somebody may think that this is the time to listen to some kind of music or see some, or from the eyes, I want to see some serials can be one thing. You're sacrificing that sitting in this particular class. So what you are doing is this, in the process of spiritual enlightenment, which we are all working, the yajna that we are doing is that the five senses have got opportunity for different types of worldly pleasure enjoyment, but you are sacrificing all those things for the purpose of focusing only in terms of spiritual areas. So you are sacrificing those things. So in the case of Stotra, you don't want to hear to the music, you want to sit and listen to Bhagavad Gita class here. You don't want to see something in the TV, you want to see the screen in front of you to understand what is happening. So you have a tendency of sacrificing some of those things to sit in this class. So this is again a kind of sacrifice. This is yajna, where the indriyas, though they are capable of taking you to outside world, you are cutting it off and then you are trying to focus on those activities with those indriyas, which is going to help you in terms of your spiritual growth. Then the next one is Shabdadin Vishayan Anye Indriya Yukvati. Then we have got world of objects are available. And world of objects, you are trying to ensure that you are going to have a control with your indriya senses. The objects are controlled by the senses and offering it to the senses, and you decide what is that you are going to offer to the senses. So you will perhaps Shabda, what is that you are going to listen to? I listen only to Vishnu Sahasranama. I listen to this. So you are trying to ensure that what is being fed, you are going to ensure that you are going to have a discipline. So this is all primarily disciplining the senses and disciplining the sense organs in terms of how you have to consume that yourself. That is offering as a yajna, sacrificing certain things so that it is going to be conducive for your spiritual growth. So first the line talks about the sense objects, how you are going to control. Second thing is world of objects. So senses you are going to control in the first line. The second thing is how are you going to ensure the sense objects that you are going to control. Then next is that Atma Samyama Yoga. No, when you are going to have a total control, Atma Samyama means when you are getting into meditation, you are able to ensure that all your indriyas are shut, all your senses are shut, all your world of objects are shut. When you are going to do all these kinds of things, then you are able to get into the kind of self-awareness. In that particular self-awareness, you are able to offer or sacrifice everything that may perhaps come from your ears or this thing, etc. You're offering it. So when you're doing meditation, you are cutting off yourself. You're sacrificing what you want to see, you cannot see because you are closing your eyes. You are sitting in a silent room, so you are what is going to come through your ears, you are going to shut off. You are not going to eat anything at that time. You are going to cut off your taste things. So you are sacrificing everything, and then you are trying to get the jnana inside yourself. That is practicing for getting that jnana. In that, you are sacrificing everything by Atma Samyam Yogam. That is in the case of meditation. So these are all the practices, that disciplines that one has to work on in terms of spiritual growth. Then there is also Dravya Yajna. What is Dravya Yajna? Offering certain things to the people, materials. Materials can be in terms of food, materials can be in terms of clothing, materials can be giving it to somebody with attitude of giving up. Giving up is yajna, giving up is sacrifice. So that yajna, some people do charities. Charities is yajna, giving to somebody. So that is, some people do that kind of a yajna. Some people do tabo yajna. Tapa can be, I can do Ekadashi fast. Tomorrow there is going to be Ekadashi. Some of you will go on fast. So you are able to ensure a total control on your body system by not eating anything or having only sabudana or this. So what happens is that these things help in terms of your own spiritual enhancement. So you have to understand that all these things as a karma yogi we do is all yajnas in different ways, which is going to help you in terms of your spiritual growth, which is able to help you in terms of having a antakarma chutti and then gain the knowledge. Some people will do yoga yajna. Yoga yajna, if you look at the entire yogasana, etc., it's all primarily focused in terms of preparing the body system for, it all helps in terms of preparing the body system for meditative practice. At the end of the day, any yogasana, they go to meditative practice. So at the end of the day, all these things are going to help you in terms of meditative practice also. So that is again yoga yajna in yourself. And swadhyaya, that is somebody will be doing self-learning, after this class, somebody may read Bhagavad Gita, you may do chanting of that kind of things. That is called Jnana Yajna, because you are trying to improve your own Jnanam. So it's called Jnana Yajna, is working on your own self in terms of leading Svadhyaya. So this is the way everybody is now looking at different ways of disciplining themselves for spiritual growth. Then the other one is Pranayama. Pranayama is also another big way by which you will be able to spiritually grow. So only thing is that day in and day out, right from birth to death, we have been having breathing. But when you are going to start focusing on breathing and then start focusing in terms of breath controls, apanam, pranam, and then holding it over inside your thing and then exhaling, all these things have got tremendous effect in terms of the body, in terms of the oxygen that can be supplied to the entire body system for health of the body, and also in terms of making the mind absolutely steady, making the mind steady and calm, peaceful, and contemplative. So that is what is the capability of pranayama. Some of the people might have also experienced that when they have got a big presentation to be made in front of very, very senior people, they go and take 2 breaths. Then automatically the nervousness that they had, the kind of confusion that they had, all those things settle down. So that is the effect of pranayama. So this is also another yajna. In this yajna, what you do is that in the inhalation, you offer exhalation as the yajna, and the exhalation, you offer inhalation as the yajna, and then you are able to also hold the prana, apana, gadi, rutva. You are able to hold them inside yourself. You breathe and then hold the breath for some time, and then slowly exhale and then again hold it for some time in a conscious manner. So, in that particular time, that kind of pranayama is also supposed to be yajna, but that is going to have a tremendous effect in terms of the mind getting calm, mind getting tranquil, mind getting capable enough in terms of rational thinking and contemplative. So, this is another discipline that some people may be adapting in terms of getting themselves prepared for understanding the jnana. So these are all for the karma yogis, and also some of the sannyasis also don't do it. Okay, so we are done up to this. So I thought I may have to once again redo it because there could be some kind of confusion that might have been created because I had no the contextually I thought I may have to perhaps once again touch upon this today. Okay, now we'll go to next one.
Anupama Bhattbhagini.
Apare niyataharaha
अपरे नियताहाराः अपरे नियताहाराः
प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति
प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति
अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति
अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणात् प्राणेषु जुह्वति.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
सर्वे येते यज्ञविदः
सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः
यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः
यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः
सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः
सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः.
Good. Next.
वीणा फानिश्री भगिनी
अपरे
अस्तु महोदय।
नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति.
अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति.
Next.
शरद चवन महोदय
सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः
सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषः
Once again.
सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः.
सर्वेऽप्येते. Okay. The te has to be pronounced.
Yes, sir. सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः.
Good. Very good. Next.
मृणालिनी गोपालन भगिनी
Both the lines. Once.
अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः.
Good. Next.
काश्मीरा भगिनी
Yes. अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः.
Good. Next.
ललिता रामचंद्रन भगिनी
Yes, ma'am. अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः.
Good. With one more person.
श्रीलक्ष्मी HR भगिनी
Yes, sir. अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणात् प्राणेषु जुह्वति सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः.
Okay. In this sloka, Bhagavan is telling that disciplined eating is also a yajna. Okay. So there are apare. So from some other people, niyata aharaha, they are very, very disciplined in terms of their eating. Eating is what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. All those things become one of the ways by which they ensure that they are controlling their inner prana. If you look at it, hunger is a prana, right? Prana, apana, vyana, udhana, samana. Samana is primarily the digestive thing in our system. That is one of the pranas that we have. The pancha pranas, that is one of the pranas. So, pranan praneshu jukhvati. The food that is offered for the hunger is taken as a kind of yajna. Okay. Now, when you do a yajna, so when you are going to have a havan in the house, Ganapati homam or Navagraha homam, you ensure that you offer certain things into the fire ritual. So you have to ensure the quality of what you offer to the fire ritual, right? So if you think that there is again yajna going on in your stomach, inside your digestive system, and that yajna I am going to offer, then you understand what is that you are going to offer is also going to be the way you are offering to a yajna in the fire. So the other thing that needs to be looked into is what is to be offered, how much is to be offered, when to be offered, all those things are there. So if somebody is able to follow this and then have a control in terms of managing that kind of inner fire, that is also a discipline. And that kind of a discipline will also help in terms of the spiritual growth. And what they normally say is that You are supposed to eat one of those kinds of food which is going to help you in spiritual development. And Bhagavan is going to talk about the food also in one of the chapters which we will be discussing in the future. Like what kind of food is going to give what kind of mental makeup for the individuals. That is what he's going to talk about that. So I will not dwell on that now. But there is also, if you are going to be in a spiritual process, like a sadhaka who wants to understand oneself as a karma yogi, then what kinds of food will be conducive for one to eat is very important. And niyatahara is primarily when, what, how much, etc. So one of the things that they recommend is that the solids should be only taking care of 50% of the stomach, then fill it up with another 25% by liquids, which is water, and leave another 25% empty. There may be a craving for eating more, but somebody should have the capability of addressing that kind of a thing and bringing it under control. That itself is supposed to be a yajna. Offering food into the fire of hunger itself is a yajna. So, sarvehe api yete yajna vitaha. So he has now, Bhagavan has talked about various kinds of disciplines, disciplining about the senses and sense objects and prana, all these things he has talked about so far. So all these things, yajna vidaha, those people who understand that these are all yajnas, because he's a karma yogi, he's not going to eat for the sake of eating, he is going to eat for, he's not going to eat just like that. He has got an attitude of eating also. So when they have this kind of things and they look at all these activities as an yajna, every activity that he is doing from morning to night, if he is looking at it as a yajna, like teaching can be a yajna, it can be a jnana yajna. If I go to a ashram and then they are doing a teaching of Vedanti classes to us, it is a jnana yajna. He is offering his knowledge as yajna. Okay, so if everybody understands that from morning to evening, whatever is offered as a yajna, then this yajna kalmashaha kshapitaha, all the sins, impurities will all be removed, kshapita, destroyed. All the impurities, if we have this attitude as whatever I'm doing is yajna, everything will be destroyed. Okay, so even a disciplined eating is also a yajna. So prayer is a yajna, listening is a yajna, controlling our senses is a yajna, pranayama is a yajna, everything is a yajna. So if you look at all the activities that somebody does, everything can be translated into yajna. So that is the attitude that we need to have once we are going to be in spiritual journey as a karma yogi. So this is what Bhagavan is now telling. Next lecture.
K. Lalita Bhagini.
Yajna shishtamruta bhujah.
Yajnasishtamrutabhujah. Yajnasishtamrutabhujah.
Yanti brahma sanatanam.
Yanti Brahma Sanatanam. Yanti Brahma Sanatanam.
Yajna shishtamruta bhujah. Yanti brahma sanatanam.
Yajnasishtamrutabhujah. Yanti Brahma Sanatanam. Yajnasishtamrutabhujah. Yanti Brahma Sanatanam.
Good. Next.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Nayal lokosya yajnasya.
Nayal logo, yes, Nayal logonsya yajnasya.
Lokosya.
Yes, sir.
Lokosya yajnasya. Nayal lokosya yajnasya.
Nayal lokotsya yajnasya. Nayal lokotsya yajnasya.
Putonyah kuru sattama.
Putonyah kuru sattama. Putonyah kuru sattama.
Nayal lokosya yajnasya. Putonyah kuru sattama.
Nayal lokotsya yajnasya. Putonyah kuru sattama. Nayal lokosya yajnasya. Putonyah kuru sattama.
I'll split the word in a better manner for easy understanding. lokaha asti ayajnasya. It's actually yajnasya is ayajnasya. Lokaha asti ayajnasya. Na asti lokaha ayajnasya. That is the meaning. Okay. Ayam lokaha na asti ayajnasya. Yajnasya means the one who is committed to the spiritual learning. The one who is not committed to spiritual learning, ayajnasya. So it is nayam lokaha asti ayajnasya. It becomes lokosya yajnasya. Okay. So nayal lokosya yajnasya.
Srimati Bhagini.
Yes, Mother.
Nayal lokosya yajnasya.
नायल्लोकोऽस्त्य यज्ञस्य नायल्लोकोऽस्त्य यज्ञस्य
Utonyah kuru sattama.
कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम
Nayal lokotsya yajnasya utonyah kuru sattama.
नायल्लोकोऽस्त्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम नायल्लोकोऽस्त्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम.
Good.
Thank
Next.
you.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
Yajna shishtamrutha bujah yanti brahma sanatanam.
यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजः यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम् यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजः यान्ति सनातनम्.
Hello.
Okay. Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you chant? There was some disconnect in between. Okay. Is that okay? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mahoday.
Okay. Nayal lokotsya yajnasya utonyah kuru sattama.
नागल्योगोत्स्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम नायल्लोकोत्स्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम.
Good. Next.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
First line 2 times.
यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजः यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम् यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजः यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम्.
Good. Next.
Vijayalakshmi R Bhagini.
Second line 2 times.
नायल्योगोऽस्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तमा नायल्लोकोऽस्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तमा.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
So 2 lines together.
Yes, sir. यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजः यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम् नायल्लोकोत्स्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्य कुरु सत्तम.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Both the lines.
Yes,
one. Yeah.
Yes. Yajnashishtamritabujaha yanti brahma sanatanam nayallokostya yajnasya kutonyah kuru sattama.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini. Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini. Sri Lakshmi HR Bhagini.
Yes, madam. Both lines once, sir.
Yeah, both lines once.
यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजः यान्ति यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम् नायन् लोकोत्स्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तमा.
Good. Next.
Lalita Ramachandran Bagini.
यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजः यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम् नायल्लोकोऽस्त्वयज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तमा.
Good. One more person.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजः यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम् नायं लोकोऽस्त्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तमम्.
So we'll go to the meaning of this. The first line is primarily an example, it's a metaphor. Okay. We may have to just understand the first line and then expand it as much as possible to our knowledge of yajna. So yajna shishta amrita bhujaha. So if you are doing a fire ritual, the fire ritual, they do a lot of things. Let us take, for example, Ganapati Homa. In Ganapati Homa, they may offer modaka into the fire, etc. And then they do the entire fire worship will be over. And after the worship is over, they will take the prasada of the modaka to everybody. So, yajna shishta means what has been left over after completing the yajna. Yajna shishta. Whatever is left over after doing a yajna is an amrutam. It is not the amrutam of eternity. Amrutam is this here is called nectar. It's a nectar. Yajna shishta, what is left over from the yajna, that amrutam, that is supposed to be a nectar, bhujaha, one who eats that particular thing as a, after the yajna has been completed, which is remains of the yajna, yanti brahma sanatanam. They will be able to achieve, or they will be able to go to Brahma Sanatanam, eternal. They will be able to get to Brahma, or they will be able to realize Brahma. They will be able to understand their own self. They will be able to gain self-knowledge. That is the meaning behind it. The thing is that as a karma yogi, if you continue to have this attitude of doing things with the yajna, and then what is left out of the yajna you consume, then your antakarana will get continuously clean, and over a period of time, it is not going to happen immediately. Yanti means it is going to be time consuming. Over a period of time, the person will be able to get the Brahma Jnana. That is the meaning of this. So now when you look at it from the perspective of our dharma, if you look at our own Sanatana Dharma, every time when we prepare food, etc., what do? We go to the altar. So I think most of us are doing in the house. Every day we prepare rice or something, rice with dal, especially in South India, rice and then dal and one small spoon of ghee is put, and then they take it and give it in front of the Bhagavan. And then the cooked food of rice, dal and the rice offered with dal and ghee becomes a kind of naivedyam. You go and offer it in front of Bhagavan. When you offer it as a naivedyam, you are given it as a yajna, which means that you have sacrificed that. It is no more yours. You are already given it to Bhagavan. And then you do all those things. The Praseshla mantra you do, and then you say pranaya swaha, apranaya swaha, everything you say. And then you offered that to Bhagavan. So that food is no more yours. It has been given to Bhagavan. Once it is given to Bhagavan, then when the food comes to you, it is not the food. It is a prasada. Bhagavan is giving you a gift. That's it. You have to accept that Bhagavan has now given me a gift. It is a prasada for me to have it. So that means when you have the prasada bhava, that whatever I am getting now to eat is a prasada given by God. When that prasada bhava comes, then that is going to make a tremendous amount of impact in terms of antakarana chutti. And over periods of time, we'll be able to achieve Brahman, understand ourselves. So this is very, very important to have the prasada bhava. Somebody might ask a question. So, okay, I went there and then left the food in front of God. I get vada, this, modaka, everything. I just showed it to him and I only featured on that. Okay, that is a very fair discussion. But at least initially you were offering it as naivedya without even tasting it. That itself shows the sincerity with which you have done. One. Second thing is, somebody may ask whether the God has really consumed this. I have offered, how do we know that God has consumed? For that, I heard a wonderful explanation given by Sundara Kumar, one good Kadakhalakshepam person in South India. He was telling about the same thing. He said that, people was asking a question, I give so much of things in front of God and then show it him and I only eat. How do you know that God has eaten? So for that, he gave the explanation that I am having a big book of Bhagavad Gita in front of me. I have not read this before. Okay. Last 1 month, I have been reading all these things. Okay, now what has happened is that all the things that is there in this book, I have been able to fully understand. Everything is there within me. Does it mean that it is now not in the book? The book is lost? No, book is there. Everything is there in the book. But it has already got transferred into me. It means the entire thing has been transferred in a Sukshma Rupa, this knowledge, for me as a mortal. If that can happen to me as a mortal, that nothing from the book is taken out, but entire information is getting into me as jnana or understanding, that is called Sukshma, I'm able to take it. Why God cannot take everything as Sukshma? And one. Second thing, God is only going to look at is from the attitude that we are going to show, because the entire thing is His. He does not wait for us to go and prepare food and give it to Him. No, everything is His. But He understands that attitude. Kushela gave us a small morsel of poha. Bhagavan accepted that so much of happiness. One small poha, he was able to satisfy the food requirement of the entire Durvasha and his rishis. So for Bhagavan, it is all not a great thing. But the attitude that we develop by offering first to Bhagavan with a sincerity, making it the Naivedyam and taking it and then eating it, is definitely the attitude is only going to make us into reach our Brahma Sanatanam, understand oneself. Now, the question is that is it only food? No. The thing is that this prasada buddhi has to come in everything. So everything that we do has to become a yajna, right from morning to evening. You may be preparing something for your husband and sending him to the office. That if you think that I am doing it as a kind of a daily headache, that can be one thing. But I am doing a yajna to take care of somebody who is doing that, then it becomes a kind of yajna. Similarly, the gents and all, they do a lot of things for their families. Whatever they do to the family, they should not crib about it and they feel that I am doing this as a yajna. This is my responsibility. I am doing with happiness. I have to go and do this. I have to go and get this. It may be putting me into trouble. I am doing it for the sake of taking care of my family. If that is the attitude, it becomes yajna. And then out of that, whatever you get, you take it as you get everything with so much difficulty and then something comes to you in your plate, prasada. So you can have a prasada buddhi in everything. Maybe in studies, you can have a prasada buddhi. Maybe in doing any work, you can have a prasada buddhi. Once you have a prasada buddhi, then you have got nothing to regret. It is all given to me by God. It is not that I have achieved anything. So that ahankara keeps going away. So now the first line talks about, though it is talking about food, we have to extend it for everything that we do as a karma yogi in terms of what we are doing, and the pala that comes to me is a prasada from the God. That attitude needs to be cultivated. Now the second line talks about the people who are not really ayajnasya. He is talking about loka ayajnasya. Those people who are not having the attitude of karma yoga. Okay. Let us assume, you look at these kinds of people. Now, these guys, they do things, but when something comes to them, they are not able to, they is not in line with what they want, they are unhappy. So these people are always unhappy. Okay. When you give something, they are unhappy. Every moment they are unhappy because they are looking at something in the future only. They are not looking at the present and feeling very happy of what they have. They get a new car, after some time they are unhappy. So they never live in the present and they always feel that they have got something because of their own merit, their own capability. And there is resentment. Promotion comes because I got a promotion, but the other person has got 100 rupees more, unhappy. So they are not able to be happy at all because they are not considering it as a yajna. Yajna prasada. So once you have the prasada buddhi, and it is gift that is coming to me from God of everything that I am getting in my world, life. Like prana I am doing is a prasada of God. If the prana stops, I am not there. I am able to get up in the morning, is a prasada of God. So if they don't understand the hand of God, they are going to be unhappy every time and they are only looking at the future that something is going to be different. They fail to be very happy now. So in those people, ayajnasya, okay, where are they going to be happy? Now I am loka. They don't have this particular loka. or any other loka also you give. Kuru Sattama means the best of Kurus, that is Arjuna. Anywhere you go, they are going to be like this only because they are not having the Yajna Bhava, Ayajna Bhava. When you have Ayajna Bhava, you can never be satisfied. You will never be happy with anything that you have in life. Anything and everything you feel that I should have got this. I got this, but I should have got this. Rather than thinking that what I got is the prasada of God. Okay. So, Ayam Lokaha na asti ayajnasya. Okay, this is not there for those people. Not only this world, kuto anyaha, kuta, even other worlds also they don't have anything because they are not having the attitude of yajna. So this is a very important thing in terms of karma yogis that we need to understand a prasada bhava in everything that we do. They have taken example of food, but you need to look at it from everything that we get. We have to take it as a prasada bhava. Once we get a prasada bhava, we are very happy. In the temple, you get a small amount of tirtam. They give a small amount of water. You're so happy. I got tirtam today. They put sprinkle small amount of water. You're so happy. So when you get something small also, once you have the fulfillment, yeah, this is a prasada I got from God, then your life will change. Your attitude will change. Your own actions will change. Your own looking at people will change. That is what they say. And if you don't have this yajna baba, you have God help you. God also may not help because he's not praying. So it's going to be difficult for those kinds of people. Okay, that's the meaning of this sloka. Next.
Lakshmi Bibi Bagini.
Evam bahuvida yajnaha.
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः
Vitata brahmano mukhe.
वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे
Evam bahuvida yajnaha. Vitata brahmano mukhe.
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bagini.
Karmajan vidditan sarvan.
कर्मजान्वित्थितान् सर्वान् कर्मजान्वित्थितान् सर्वान्
Evam nyatva vimokshase.
एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्षसे एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्षसे
Karmajan vidditan sarvan. Evam nyatva vimokshase.
कर्मजान्वित्थितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्षसे कर्मजान्वित्थितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्षसे.
Good. Next.
Shanti Badri Bagini.
Yes, sir.
Evam bahuvida yajnaha. Vitata brahmano mukhe.
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता. Yes, sir.
Yajnaha.
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः.
You are having an English book, huh?
Tamil, sir.
Yajna சொல்லணும். Brahma yajnam yajna.
சரி சார்.
யஜ்ஞா ஞாயிறு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா?
ஆமா.
இந்த மாதிரி ஞா யஜ்ஞா
யஜ்ஞா
யஜ்ஞா யஜ்ஞா
யஜ்ஞா
யஜ்ஞா
யஜ்ஞா. ஏவம் பகுவிதா யஜ்ஞாः விததா பிரம்மணோ முகே ஏவம் பகுவிதா யஜ்ஞாः விததா பிரம்மணோ முகே.
Good. Next.
K Lalita Bagini.
Karmajan vidditan sarvam evam jnatva vimokshase.
Karmajan vidhitan sarvan एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे.
Okay, next.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
First line 2 times.
Yes, sir. एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे.
Good. Next.
Sri Lakshmi HR Bhagini.
Second line 2 times.
कर्मजान् विद्दितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे कर्मजान् विद्दितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini.
Both the lines.
ओके. एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
Yes, Madhya.
Both the lines.
Both the lines, sir.
Yeah.
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे.
Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Yes, sir. एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे.
Okay. Now this sloka, it talks about understand that all the karmas have all come out of anatma. That is the primary understanding of this. Now, evam bahuvida yajnaha. So if you look at the last 6-7 slokas, we understood lot of different types of yajnas, right? We saw about daivameva pare yajnam, upasate, then everything we have talked about. Many types of different types of yajnas. So all these evam bahuvida yajnaha, like that, many types of yajnas vitata in a very detailed manner have been given in our Vedas. Brahmano mukhe. It has Brahmano mukhe means just come out of Brahma's mouth. That is what we say Vedas. In the Vedas, lot of such kinds of yajnas have been given, which means that many of these yajnas, which will help in terms of people for self-realization, people for spiritual growth, have been explained. So now we have understood some of these things. Bhagavan has not told all the things. He has only taken selectively to ensure that we have a flair, we have an understanding of the various kinds of things. He primarily focused in terms of senses, sense objects, then pranayama, and then offering to the god, all those kinds of things he told, so that we have a understanding of what a yajnam is. Otherwise, in the Vedic days and all, they were doing fire rituals. But now many fire rituals have also been changed into pujas and worshipping with flowers, etc. So all these things also is yajna. That's what he has told. But now one has to understand, when you do any kind of a yajna, maybe you have a fire yajna or you do your puja at home, what do? We do physical actions. It may be an action involving your body parts. It may be in a body, or it may be you will be chanting some mantras, or it may be contemplating on something. So what happens is that karma jan viddhi tan sarvan. Karma jan viddhi means what? All these actions are born. Okay, all tan sarvan. So from where it is all born? It is all born out of actions. Actions are coming out from where? Your body, your hands, you do some puja, from your mouth you tell something, your mind, you do your meditation. So it is happening primarily at the level of body, mind, sense complex. Karma jan viddhi, all these actions are born. Okay, where is it born? It is all born out of your body, mind complex. Okay, body, mind, sense complex, which means that all the actions of yajnas that you do is all primarily at the levels of body, mind, sense complex only. There is no involvement of your Atma. Your Atma is a non-doer. He is not a karta. Atma is a akarta. Body, mind, sense complex is a karta. So we read one sloka on karman yakarma pashet. You say the person who is able to see akarma in karma and karma in akarma is a person who is an elevated person. That's what we said. No, that is because he is able to realize that Atma is a non-doer. So here one has to understand that he is now Atma is not a karta. Atma is a non-doer. Everything is happening at the level of body, mind, sense complex. If a person is able to understand this, then these people will be able to get liberated. Evam jnatva. Karmajan vittitan sarvan. All these things are all born out of actions of body, mind, sense complex. If somebody is able to understand that, evam jnatva, the one who is able to understand that this is the way it is, vimokshase, he will be in the path of liberation. Okay, so that is, you have to understand that Atma is the non-doer. Atma is akarta. Karta is only body, mind, sense complex. So that is what Bhagavan is telling in this sloka. Maybe we'll take one more sloka.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
Shreyan dravyamayat yajnat.
Shreyan dravyamayadyajnat. Shreyan dravyamayadyajnat.
Jnana yajnah parantapa.
Jnana yajnah parantapa. Jnana yajnah parantapa.
Shreyan dravyamayat yajnat. Jnana yajnah parantapa.
Shreyan dravyamayadyajnat. Jnana yajnah parantapa. Shreyan dravyamaya. Shreyan dravyamayadyajnat. Jnana yajnah parantapa.
Okay, next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Sarvam karma kilam partha.
सर्वं कर्मखिलं पार्थ
Sarvam karmam akilam. So karma kilam. Sarvam karma kilam partha.
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते.
Once again. Okay, once again.
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते.
Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Shreyan dravyamayat yajnat. Jnana yajnah parantapa.
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञपरन्तप श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञपरन्तप.
Good. Next.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate.
Sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate.
Good. Next.
Vijayalakshmi R Bhagini.
First line 2 times.
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात्यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात्यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप.
Good. Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
Second line 2 times.
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते.
Good. Next,
Lakshmi Bibi Bhagini.
both the lines.
Yes, sir. श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयाद्यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते.
Good. Next, one more person.
Veena Fani Shri Bhagini.
Yes, sir. Yayan Dravyamaya ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप सर्वान् कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते.
Sarvam only, not Sarvam. Okay. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञानपरिसमाप्यते.
Ane Parisamapyate.
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते.
Sarvam karma ki, not Sarvam. Sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate.
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते.
One more person.
Lalita Ramachandran Bhagini.
Yeah, both the lines.
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयाद्यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञपरन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते.
Good. So we'll just go to the meaning of the sloka. So we have discussed many types of yajnas, and what Bhagavan says is that Shreyaha Dravya Yajnan. Dravya Yajna means what? The one that you're offering materials in, say, fire ritual, or you are doing various kinds of distributing materials, etc. So he's not only talking about that, he says about all kinds of yajna that we have talked about. Shreyan Dravyamayat Yajnat. Okay. Compared to all those kinds of yajnas that we have talked about, Shreyan, what is Shreyas? What is Shreyan? What is superior to them? Jnana Yajna. The Jnana Yajna is superior to all other types of yajnas which we have been discussing all these while. We talked about pujas, we talked about pranayama, we talked about shotradi, indriyan, all those things we have talked about. Compared to, with respect to all those things, Jnana Yajna is superior. Shreyan, Jnana Yajna Shreyan, Dravyamayat Yajnat. Compared to that, this is the most superior. What is Jnana Yajna? Jnana Yajna, once you have an understanding of Jnana, then you are able to ensure that doership is destroyed, right? That aham karta, that kind of bhava is destroyed. So Jnana Yajna means the doership of the individual is destroyed. In the Karma Yoga also the doership is there. We are looking at Karma Phala as a prasada. But once a Jnana Yajna is there, the doership is destroyed because Atma is a non-doer. So in the case of all these things, Jnana Yajna is superior. That's what Bhagavan says here. And here he uses the term Parantapa for Arjuna. Parantapa means scorcher of enemies. Okay. So that is the Arjuna is capable of being very tough with enemies. But here in this sloka, we have to understand the Shad Vairis, that is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These 6 enemies are there, which are coming in the way of forward Jnana. And he is telling that we have to be clear that we are going to destroy these enemies in case you want to really gain that knowledge. Then once you are able to, doership of a person has been fully destroyed, then sarvam karma kilam parthe. So all the karmas, whatever has been accumulated so far, jnane parisamapyate. In that knowledge, everything gets resolved, everything gets out of it. There's all the karmas, everything will get totally resolved into the jnana. That is the meaning of this particular sloka, where he says that out of all the yajnas, jnana yajna is very, very superior. Because with Jnana Yajna, you are able to destroy or offer the doership. Then you become Akarta. Akarta means once you are an Akarta, you understand that you are Akarta, then you are Atma yourself. You can understand yourself. So with that understanding, Sarva Karma Akilam, all these kinds of things will be Parisamapyate. That will all will get resolved. Resolved in what? In Jnana. So that is what Bhagavan is telling in this sloka. So we'll close with this sloka today and then we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. Now, अपरे नियताहाराः प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति सर्वे एते यज्ञविदः यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजः यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम् नायल्लोकोऽस्य यज्ञस्य कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।